Prophet Zara said she is a demon and mustn't be allowed to be born. Demon? Blessing laughed, thinking it was some sort of twisted joke, but Emily's face was stone serious. Are you actually telling me that you believe a fake prophet over the joy of your own grandchild? Blessing. This is Blessing, one of the most beautiful girls in the city. Before I dive into this story, please consider liking this video and subscribe to the channel. Now get comfortable as we begin. This was supposed to be one of the most happiest dinner of Blessing's life. The aroma of roasted yam filled the air, and Ben's smile was as warm as the candlelight flickering on the table. Blessing clinked her glass, her heart pounding with excitement. I have some amazing news. We are going to have a baby. She expected hugs, maybe tears of joy, but what she got was a silence that chilled the room. Ben's mother, Emily, stared at Blessing, her eyes wide, not with joy, but with something dark and unspoken. Blessing, dear, this is unexpected, Emily finally said. Ben squeezed Blessing's hand under the table, a signal that usually means stay calm. But nothing could prepare Blessing for what came out next out of Emily's mouth. Emily, I visited our prophet last week. She had a vision about your child. Yes, I know you were pregnant. Your child, who is also my grandchild, brings doom. Prophet Zara said she is a demon and mustn't be allowed to be born. Demon? Blessing laughed, thinking it was some sort of twisted joke, but Emily's face was stone serious. Are you actually telling me that you believe a fake prophet over the joy of your own grandchild? Blessing asked. Emily leaned forward, her voice dropping to a whisper. This child is an omen of my death. You can't have it. Ben finally spoke up. Mom, come on. You can't be serious. But Emily was relentless. Ben, you know I've never doubted Madame Zara's predictions before. Every single one has come through. We can't ignore this. The tension was palpable. Ben looked torn, glancing between his mother and his wife, Blessing. Blessing felt a knot form in her stomach. This wasn't the reaction of assumed to be grandmother. It was fear, raw and unreasoning. I think I need some air, Blessing said. Standing up abruptly, she walked out onto the door, trying to process what just happened. Minutes later, Ben joined her, his face a mix of confusion and concern. Blessing, I know my mom can be a bit extreme, but maybe we should consider her feelings in this, Ben said hesitantly. Consider her feelings, Ben? She's talking about our baby, not some cause. But she's never been wrong about these predictions. They always come true. Maybe there is something to it. Blessing stared at her husband in disbelief. You are not actually buying into this, are you? Ben ran his finger through his hair. I don't know what to believe, but can we really take that chance? Blessing felt her heart shatter. This was not the man she married. So what are you saying, Ben? That we should get rid of our baby because of some prophet's delusion? I'm just scared, Blessing. Scared for Mom, for us. Maybe we should consider all options. The word abortion hung unspoken in the air, a heavy suffocating cloud. Blessing couldn't believe it. Her husband, the man who promised to stand by her, was now doubting their future because of a superstition. I need to think, Blessing whispered more to herself. That night, Blessing lay in bed, a torrent of thoughts swelling in her mind. The man she loved, the family she thought she knew, everything was unraveling. She only believed that her child was a blessing. but her mother-in-law's word poisoning the air and Ben's doubts infecting their home. She knew one thing for sure: she was alone in this. She was sorting through some old boxes in the room when she stumbled upon a pile of loan bills, financial notices, all addressed to Ben's parents. Her heart sank. She confronted Ben that evening. "Ben, what's this about?" She waved the bills in front of him. He grabbed them, his face paling. I was going to tell you we were in debt. My parents, they've been following Prophet Zara's investment tips." "You mean to tell me your parents are bankrupt because of a prophet? A prophet who said my child is a demon?" Blessing couldn't hide her disbelief. "It's more complicated than that, Blessing. She's been right before. Prophet Zara is never wrong." "Right, Ben. Look at these bills. How can you still defend her, that fraudster in the name of a prophet?" Rubbing his head. "It's my mom, Blessing. She believes in Zara, and after her prediction about our baby, the absurd of it all hit me. So this is why she wants us to get rid of our baby, because she's broke and believes in some charlatan doom prediction." Ben didn't meet Blessing's eyes. "It's not just that, Blessing. It's tradition, faith." Blessing felt anger boiling inside her. "And what about our faith, Ben? What about what we want?" He finally looked up. His expression hardened. "Maybe my mom is right. Maybe this baby is bad luck." Blessing recoiled as if struck. His words were like daggers. "You can't possibly believe that." "Maybe I do," he said coldly that night. As Blessing lay in bed, Ben's betrayal replaying in her mind. Blessing made a decision that day. She would not let their superstitions destroy her child. She just have to live. The next few days were a blur of preparations. She reached out to an old friend, Jenny, who lived in another state. "Jenny, I need a place to stay just for a while. It is not safe here for me and my unborn child anymore," she said over the phone, her voice shaking. "Say no more, Blessing. My door is always open for you," Jenny responded without hesitation. Blessing started packing, taking only what she needed: clothes, some money she saved up, and most importantly, the ultrasound photo of her baby. The night before she was set to leave, she confronted Ben one last time. "I'm leaving, Ben, and I'm taking our baby with me." His face was a mix of confusion and hurt. "You can't do this, Blessing. What about us? What about my mother?" "Your mother? What about me, Ben? Your wife. I am your wife, the mother of your unborn child, whom you and your mother is calling demon." Ben's voice was desperate. "Please, baby, don't go. We can work this out. My mother is never wrong." But his pleas fell on deaf ears. Blessing was resolute. "There is no us anymore, Ben. You made sure of this." With those final words, "I chose to fight for this baby." Blessing left. She left behind the home they built, the life they shared, but most importantly, she left behind a man who chose superstition over his own family. The next morning, Blessing set off to Jenny's place, her heart heavy with the betrayal of a husband and the manipulation of a family she once called her own. But there was also a glimmer of hope, a new beginning for her and her unborn child, a chance to escape the shadows of deceit and start afresh. In the dim lights of Jenny's guest room, Blessing meticulously planned her next step. The first part of her plan was the hardest: convincing Ben and Emily that she had gone through with the abortion. "Jenny, I need your help with something very risky," she said, calling her to her side. "You name it, Blessing. I'm here for you," Jenny replied, her voice steady and reassuring. "I need to fake an abortion. It is the only way I can live without them chasing after me." Jenny's eyes widened. "That's intense, but I get it. We'll need a solid plan." They spent hours plotting documents and even setting up a fake hospital visit. It was deceitful but necessary. The next day, Blessing sent Ben a message. "I've gone through with the abortion." The message read, "It was a lie necessary." She hit send. feeling a part of her fracture. With the weight of that deception, Ben's reply came quickly with a mix of relief and cold. Finally, thank God. Mother is never wrong. I hope you come home. His words were like a knife cutting to the last thread of their connection. In that moment, Blessing knew she had lost the man she once loved, but she also knew it was the only way to protect her unborn child from a love overshadowed by superstition and control. Blessing knew right then there was no turning back. Her old life as Blessing was over, and her new life as Gold, a single mother, about to begin. She was just beginning life in this new town. It was tough but liberating. She found a job at a local store, cherishing everything it provides. Her days were filled with work and prenatal classes, while her nights were spent setting up a nursery in her small apartment. Blessing, now Good, was doing okay on her own, but the weight of her decisions never left her. She constantly worried about the day Ben would find out the truth. Those fears, however, paled in comparison to the joy she felt the day her daughter Diana was born. She was perfect, and in her eyes she found new strength and purpose. Meanwhile, Ben's family spiraled further into chaos. She kept tabs on them through social media and mutual friends. Emily, her mother-in-law, believed in Prophet Zara's prediction had led them to financial ruin. Ben, once a successful businessman, was now jobless and increasingly isolated as Emily's paranoia deepened. Did you hear that your ex-mother-in-law and your ex-husband lost their houses? Jenny told Blessing over a phone. Blessing, with a heavy heart, replied, I heard that. It's really a pity how they all let a manipulator in the name of a prophet ruin their life this way, chasing after prophecy fantasies. Jenny said, her tone a mix of pity and disdain. Blessing couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt. Despite everything, they were Diana's biological family. But that guilt was quickly overshadowed by the love and devotion she felt for her daughter. Many prophets has caused more harm than good in many homes. Please consider subscribing to our channel and like this as we found out together how Blessing navigates through this ordeal. As Diana grew, so did Blessing's resolve to protect her from the toxic past and prophet manipulation she escaped that could have cost a life. As she watched her take her first steps, heard her first words, and with each milestone, her decision to leave Ben and his family's superstitions behind was reaffirmed. Living alone with her child has its challenges, but the freedom and peace it brought were worth every hardship. Diana was a blessing, her world, and she would do anything to keep her safe and happy in this small, unassuming town. She found the strength she never knew she had, building a life from the ashes of her past. In the years that followed, she often thought about the days she told Ben the biggest lie of her life, that she had gone through with the abortion. It was a decision that haunted her, even as she met a new man named Alex. She started building a new life with Diana and Alex. Even though the lies were haunting her, she knew it was a decision very necessary to protect her daughter from a past riddled with superstitions and betrayal. Her life now was a stark contrast to those days of fear and uncertainty. Alex brought a sense of stability and love that both Diana and herself had longed for. Watching Diana and Alex together, laughing and playing, filled her heart with a warmth she hadn't felt in years. One evening, as Blessing was on the couch with Alex watching the sunset, he turned to her, his eyes filled with concern. Blessing, have you ever thought about what would happen if Ben found out the truth that Diana is still? Blessing sighed, looking out into the fading light. Every day, Alex, I think about that, but I did what I had to do for Diana. Alex nodded, taking her hand. I know, and I'll always be here for both of you. The past, however, has a way of catching up no matter how far you run from it. The day Ben re-entered their life was a day she had both dreaded and prepared for. It happened during Diana's school party. Blessing was backstage helping with costume when she heard a voice that sent shivers down her spine. Blessing, she turned around and there he was, Ben looking older, his eyes filled with a mix of regret and disbelief. How? How is this possible? He stammered. Ben, she said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. You need to leave. I don't understand. You said you did the abortion. It was a lie, Ben. I had to protect my child and protect us from your superstitions. Ben's face crumbled. A mixture of pain and realization washed over him. I had no idea. I thought you thought wrong. Blessing cut him off. Diana is my daughter. She knows no other life than the one we have here with Alex, my boyfriend, and that's final. But she's my daughter too, Blessing. I deserve to know her, to be a part of her life. Diana has a father, Ben, a man who loves and cares for her. But I am her biological father. That should count for something, right? Being a father is more than biology, Ben. It's about being there through thick and thin. You chose to abandon us for superstitions, and now you must live with that choice. Ben pleaded, his voice breaking. Please, Blessing, I've lost everything. Don't take this away from me too. Blessing took a deep breath, the weight of years of secrecy and pain bearing down on her. You took it away from yourself, Ben. To you, this baby is gone. And in your words on the day I told you I aborted her, you said, finally, thank God. So keep thanking God. Diana doesn't exist to you. She is happy and loved. That's all that matters. With those final words, Blessing walked away, leaving Ben standing alone amidst the echoes of a past he chose over his family. As she returned to the auditorium, to Alex and Diana, she knew their life together was all that mattered. The lies and the past were behind her, and ahead was a future filled with love, stability, and the warmth of a family that was built on truth and resilience. The encounter with Ben at the school had stirred a whirlwind of emotions, but she was determined not to let it disrupt the life Diana and her had built with Alex. Yet the thought lingered. Ben now knew the truth. Regardless, Blessing knew that Ben had lost everything, and she cannot allow him use a daughter she thought she aborted fill the void. Ben clearly made his choice, and he has to live with them. Diana and Blessing had moved on, putting behind Ben in the past. That's what he represented. She felt a sense of finality. It was the closing of a chapter, one filled with pain. Watching Diana and Alex play, she knew she had made the right decision. Their life was full of love and laughter, a stark contrast to the shadow of the past. Everything is as it should be. Blessing felt a sense of peace. Her journey had not been an easy one, but it had led her here to this moment, to a life built on love, trust, and resilience. Diana was safe and loved, and that was all that mattered. The past with all its pain and mistake was behind her, and ahead lay a future filled with hope and happiness. And that brings us to the end of this story. Now, I have a thought-provoking question for you. Do you think Blessing was right in keeping Diana away from Ben, even after he realized his mistake and wanted to be a part of her life? Was it fair to deny him a chance to be a father, or did his past actions justify her decision? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Your support means a lot to us. Till we see you again in our next story. Goodbye.